Hello guys, welcome back to the 90 plus 5 essay. And here are 10 players who are on our watch list. Simple, they have to perform. This is the last season they have to show to the world that are still world class players. And let's get right into it. ASAP. Number one, Philip Foden. Philip Foden. When you hear the name Philip Foden, it takes you back to how amazing it was in 2023-2024 season, winning the Premier League Player of the Season, the PFA award, a host of awards. But ever since that season, he has been on a massive decline. Pep hasn't really trusted him as much. You have had injuries, you have had a lot of things. But clearly, Man City still has faith in him because despite his poor season and poor form last season, they rewarded him with a new contract. And of course, his Mancunian through this being his only club, came up from the ranks, and I understand that they have faith in him. And I have faith in him too. Unfortunately, the faith only lasts this season because if he doesn't perform this season, conversations will be had and must be had on Phil Foden. He has to perform. He's under a new manager, Maresca. His dad is gone, Pep is gone, and so he has to tell us if he deserves to be called world class or if we have to start having uncomfortable conversations. Number two, Rafael Leão. Now this guy really gets on my nerve. I'm not a hater in any sense of the word, but when I remember 2 seasons ago how Rafael Leão was termed the next big thing, the Neymar of our time. I mean, it got me pissed off because this was a guy who had an amazing couple of seasons in Serie A. Don't get me wrong, he was banging in goals, assists, was trickery, left, right, center, pace and everything. But here's the thing about players who have a couple of good seasons. There's a bit of an overhype. And even when he was performing at his best, there were a lot of signs that we ignored. He wasn't really the most hardworking player. He was kind of take it easy, flair kind of player. And last season, his numbers really had a dip form. Yes, he struggled with injuries and everything, but he was absolutely poor. In the World Cup, he wasn't really starting, and which is crazy because he's meant to be in his prime. And now this season, even Ruben Amorim has put him in the unwanted list. Of course, Amorim has his reasons with the whole system and everything, but a player who was costing 150 million 2 seasons ago shouldn't be an unwanted list. And if he was that important to AC Milan will have to tell him that, you see, no, Ruben, this is our player. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Well, never mind all that. My claim and my charge to Rafael Leão is that, brother, this season shows why you are world class. Simple. Now, I doubt if there's going to be in AC Milan, but even with him available on 50 million, nobody wants him. And so, which is crazy, but Rafael Leão, this season, you have to perform. Number 3, Ronald Araújo. Barca fans, when you hear this name, you remember a lot of past heartbreaks. You ask any Barca fan last 3-4 UCL campaigns, there's always an Araujo red card lurking. And that's a bit unfair because our defense and a lot of things has been the issue, the highlight and everything. But Araujo as a player has had his issues. Last season, he had to take like a mental, he was dealing with mental health, which I really sympathize with him, and he came back a bit stronger. But this season, he has been given a rare opportunity, a new club, howbeit on loan, and a new league. You have Ronald Araújo has already confirmed to Liverpool, and it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. But this season, he has to prove to everyone that he still has it. He has had a rough couple of seasons, but he has to show to the world that the Araújo of the Xavi time, the Araújo of 3-4 seasons ago, is still that same guy. And he has to prove to the world that he's still world class. And I hope he does. Number 5, Marc-André Stegen. You ask any Barca fan in the world, Marc-André Stegen is synonymous rather to a statue, which is crazy because this was a player who was probably the best keeper in 2018. And ever since then, there has been a massive decline. He lost his starting spot to Joan Garcia, and now he's out on loan to Ajax. And this is crazy because he's meant to be in the peak, in the prime of his years, but yet he's unable to lock down his starting spot in his team in Barca. He's unable to lock down his starting spot, even in the national team. Howbeit him suffering an injury just few months to the World Cup was a big blow. But never that this is a fresh start, a clean slate. Marc-André Stegen, you have to prove to everyone why you were outed as the best keeper in 2018 and why you deserve to be starting keeper for Germany this coming Euros. And with a new league, with a new team, I hope he can show us what he is made of. Number 6, Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka, the star boy of Arsenal. Saka is a head scratcher. You look at his numbers over the years and you see that he has been in a decline. I mean, let me just read this stat to you: 7 goals and 5 assists. That's not Garnacho number. That's not Mekus in an NPFL. That is Bukayo Saka, a starting attacker for a title-winning team. It's crazy. And it goes to show you that Arsenal won this league despite the help of their star boy. And I feel like this season has to clear and prove the doubters wrong, that he's still one of the best. Because anytime they call Bukayo Saka and there's like they call him world class, to say he's a world class player, it kind of gets me annoyed because you look at the eye test, you look at the numbers, and it tells a different story. And yet there are systematic issues, the way he's being used and the way Arteta likes to play. So, all that being said, Bukayo Saka needs to get back to what made him a star boy. He needs to get back to his best forms, scoring non-penalty goals, not penalty goals. I mean, penalty is a part of the game, but banging in the goals, assists, and telling us why he is still the star boy. Number seven, and this might come as a surprise, but Vinícius Júnior. Vinícius Júnior took us round roller coaster this summer. I mean, definitely took Arsenal fans on the roller coaster with the whole reports saying Arsenal has agreed to deal with him being close to returning and coming to Premier League, according to David Austin. However, Fabrizio didn't report it. But of course, that was a ploy for him to get a better deal in Real Madrid. And Real Madrid has been chasing this rumor for quite some time. And then we were able to lock him down. Now, that's not the issue. It's not that Vinícius Júnior has not been great. He has been good. But of course, Real Madrid as a whole for the past 2 seasons have not won any trophy. If you want to call the World Cup a trophy, that's a cup of tea, but they have not won any trophy. And this is a player that demanded the highest possible salary in the squad. That's Mbappe level numbers. Of course, he demanded a higher percentage of his image rights. And Real Madrid and Perez said, you know what, my brother, take it. Now, with great power, with great money, comes great responsibility on the pitch. And that has been given to him. We can't come to La Liga and be saying 9 assists. No. He has to take this thing by the scruff of the neck. Real Madrid has given him on paper, told him that this team, my brother, you are one of the pillars, and he needs to show it consistently. He needs to lead Madrid to a title, to the Champions League. He needs to prove that money they paid for him is worth it. And I think that this season, he's definitely going to do that. Number 8, Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, oh my goodness. This was a player who a couple of seasons ago was probably one of the best wingers, one of the most exciting wingers in Europe. When it was the Dortmund, him and Haaland were causing havoc left, right, center. And ever since he made the trip from Germany to UK, it has been one level of bar to another. I'm sorry. It has been a level of bar to another. Of course, few people perform in Man United. You have Anthony, same story. You have Martial, same story. But with Sancho, it was kind of surprising because they needed his kind of profile and they got him. But for some reason or the other, it didn't work out. And right now, talking to you, he's still a free agent at time of recording, which is really, really sad. So the first order of business for Sancho and his team is to get him a team, not looking at Champions League level. No, right now he needs to go back to the trenches. If it is to go abroad, maybe to Spain, to a mid-stable side in Germany, some to get that mojo back. But I feel like this season is his last chance to prove to the world that he's still worth taking a bet on. Because all he needs to do is to lock in for this season, and you have the likes of maybe a Arsenal or maybe a Chelsea willing to take another chance on him. But if he doesn't do this season, I'm afraid that Sancho will just be lost to the footballing times of what a player he once was but never achieved his absolute peak. Second to last player on this list, Alphonso Davies. Alphonso Davies, oh my goodness. You talk about pace, you talk about power, you talk about dribbling, you talk about all action left back, and that's Alphonso Davies. If you started watching football 2 years ago, imagine Nuno Mendes right now. That was who Alphonso Davies was 2020, 2021 season, 2022 thereabouts. But ever since then, there has been a dip in his form. Of course, injuries hasn't helped, but even when he has been fit, he has not shown that explosive nature. He has not been decisive enough. He has not been that standout left back. And even Company, it showed last season with the selections. Company really didn't trust him even when he was fit. And even Bayern has made plans this summer getting another left back because they know his injury record and it shows that they are wary of him. Now this season he needs to prove to the Bayern squad, to the Bayern management, to Company that, see, my brother, that left back is mine. He needs to prove to the world. He needs to remind us of before Nuno Mendes there what he was. Of course, got married this summer. Maybe a bit of that mojo can get him back on track. But this season he has to perform. No questions asked. And let's see how that goes. Last but not the least, Dušan Vlahović. Ex-Juventus man. But the majority of this window, my brother was a free agent. And it's crazy how no top team took a chance on him. You had Barca, didn't even bother. You had Real Madrid in need of a 9, didn't even bother. I mean, Barca is still in talking stage with Alvarez. And they saw Dušan Vlahović and I was like, nah, my brother, I'm going to chew you. You have Arsenal trying to flirt with Osimhen, didn't take a chance on him. And of course, it's not that these teams are blinding. They understand that Dušan Vlahović hasn't been the player he once was. I mean, 2-3 seasons ago, he was 80 million, 90 million. Juventus were not willing to sell. And now with him being free, he has to settle for Besiktas. And no offense to the fans out there. Besiktas is a very amazing team. I'm very sure. But, I mean, that's not where Dušan Vlahović probably saw himself a year ago. And so, this is a real opportunity. This is a new league. This is a new team. He can prove to the world that, you see, regardless of the team, I'm still able to perform. He can show those top teams that missed out on him this summer that, my brother, you made a big mistake. He can lock in and prove to the world, to Europe, that he's still one of the best and one of the most elite strikers out there. And so there you have it. That is our top 10 watch list of this coming season. These players have to perform. They have been world-class players who have seen them over the seasons, but this is their last chance, in my opinion, for them to perform. Let me know what you think. Comment in the section below if you miss anybody, if there's anybody I called, if you think there's an agenda. Like, share, subscribe, share the video with your friends, subscribe to our channel because we're bringing a lot more contents on board. You can also follow us on X at 90+5FC, on TikTok and on Instagram. And of course, weekly episodes of the podcast drops every Monday. Be sure to tune in. This season is going to be a bank. Can't wait to this is going to be a bank. A lot more videos are going to be dropping couple of days from now. So subscribe, turn on post notification, and catch you next one. Take it easy.